So,
I introduce you.
what's the subject?
Cam 1 is me. Take.
What's the subject again?
Okay. We're going to talk about harmonium, remember?
Okay, why don't you take a second to just ground yourself, because you just rushed here, frazzled. So
We're going to talk about harmonium.
I'd rather just talk about Naam Yoga.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, and have fun and act like you've never heard of it.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon. We have today with us Jennifer. She is a Naam Yoga instructor, so she's going to enlighten us about what Naam Yoga is, because a lot of people don't know what it is. So, Jenny, can you tell us, first of all, where does the word Naam come from?
Naam means the word. It's the energy that holds the universe together, and it's a sacred word. So it's a vibration.
Okay. So, but NAAM stands for what initials? I mean, NAAM, is that 4 initials?
No, it doesn't. It's not an acronym. It's not. It doesn't. N doesn't stand for neuro anatomy
or anything like that.
No, it's not like that. Naam is like nod, which is to repeat. Naam is just to the word, the sacred word.
It's a sacred word. Is it an Indian word?
No.
No?
I don't believe so.
Not really. Okay, and can you tell us how does Naam Yoga function, what it is?
Naam Yoga works on the sound current.
Okay.
And through sound, you elevate your vibration.
Okay. And so I assume that you do a lot of sounds.
Depending on the class, you can start with just tuning in with some sounds and doing a lot of movement and just have sound in the background. But once your practice becomes stronger, you can increase your sound meditation and your sound vibration until ultimately it's like it doesn't even have to be an external sound. It's like this pulsation within every being, every cell in yourself of
Is
the
that
Naam.
when by sound you mean chanting?
Chanting is a huge part of it in a Naam class. For example, we have the Adi mantra, which is from the Kundalini lineage that you tune in with. But sound can be a seed sound. So what does that mean? That means a very sacred beginning seed sound that you can chant maybe only 7 times, and it's very powerful to raise your vibration. So we might do that in a class. Or, like I mentioned, in a very subtle way, the sound could be almost inaudible, and it just pulsates within your mind and your cells, so that you chant something so often. Maybe you chant every morning for an hour, for example, and with time you're changing the wavelength energy in your whole being, so that sound is now in you.
Okay.
And that brings harmony, and it makes you
Can you tell me your personal experience with Naam? I mean, you said that it really works for you.
Naam works for me. It works for everyone.
Okay, so you say it raises your energy.
It raises everyone's energy that does a practice, or even that observes it. That's how powerful it is. So even if, say, people tell me, oh, I hurt my knee, or oh, I'm not flexible, or oh, I don't like yoga, or oh, blah, blah, blah. Even if they just sit in the back of the room, they will get the benefits of the class.
Okay. So Naam Yoga is, you said it's also a healing tool. You mean a bit of spiritual healing or other kind of healing?
Well, to heal means to become whole. That's what the word healing means. So we can work on the physical level to heal someone. Say, like I mentioned, the knee or the foot. I injured my foot years ago, and part of the healing of the foot is a physical process of, reef strengthening everything and doing exercises and working with a TheraBand and working with your physical therapist, or I did gyrotonic exercises. So there's a physical aspect. I'm not going to, say, oh, healing is only,
So it's all connected.
It is all connected. And then you can work on the emotional level. So with my foot, for example, or with Naam Yoga, you are also going to tap into your emotions. Maybe there's fear, maybe there's insecurity, maybe there's what have you. And then you're going to work in the divine realm. And that's very powerful. And
Because you ask for the divine?
well, healing comes from yourself. The only way for you to heal yourself is for you to heal yourself. So self-healing is the only healing that's possible. Now, the divine is what comes to your aid with your willingness. So there is a grace from the divine that comes to
heal you.
To to do miraculous things. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you had, since you have been teaching it for a while, you had testimonies of people who felt also the same way you do?
Absolutely.
Give me an example. Someone who had like a back pain, all of a sudden they feel better?
Well, it can be more about just feeling great.
Okay.
Because someone who, first of all, who is has a lot of healing issues, that would maybe be a private, but just an example is to feel good. We tune in with Om Namo Gurudev Namo, which is calling upon the teacher within to bring you from darkness to light. So often in a session, when you go to class, you might not feel the best, right? You're stressed, you're tired, you're out of shape maybe, you've got all these thoughts. We have this like monkey brain going on. So we come to yoga to relax and to work on the body.
Okay.
And do you wanted an example? Do you want to hear? So it just, a client would tell me, I always feel so happy after class, It's like a happy yoga.
Okay.
You come in, you might not feel so great, but you leave happy. And that's definitely true. It's a yoga of light. It's a yoga of joy. It's a yoga to awaken your heart and to feel amazing. And when you feel amazing and when you're laughing and when you're connected to your spirit, healing will happen. Because love is what heals.
Okay, so basically you believe that happiness is connected to healing. Yes. So depressed people will get sick.
Well, dis-ease, think of the word, is to not have ease.
Okay.
And healing is to have whole. So what we want is a flowing, free flow of energy.
Okay.
And depression is one part of a disease.
Right.
It's someone can be clinically depressed.
Right.
So there are things to do about depression. There are mudras. You can do certain sounds.
Okay.
You can clap.
Okay.
Your diet. So there's a lot of things to do for that.
Okay.
And a lot of different. You keep saying okay.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, okay. So there are many things you can do for each disease. So depression is one disease, if you will, and then there might be heart issues, which has to do with the heart.
You get hurt, yeah.
Somebody might have been hurt.
Okay.
And then cancer is another disease. So what we really want to do, ideally, is preventative. So go to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, okay, you have cancer, let's do chemotherapy, let's do, all of these things to take out, to remove the symptoms or to take out what's going on now. It's to go to the root of why whatever disease came about in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So why did that come about? In the
Mhm.
heart, for example, heart disease, I mean, it could be you're not following your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have rest and you want to tap into your heart center. And I think Nam Yoga is the best yoga to touch, connect with your heart.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, are there different kinds of Nam Yoga? Are there different kinds, or they are pretty much the same? I mean, there are different levels of Nam Yoga, or when you go to
Yeah.
one Nam Yoga, you know you've been in one Nam Yoga. Is there different kinds of Nam Yogas?
That's a good question. Nam Yoga comes from Kundalini Yoga.
Okay.
And in Kundalini Yoga, what we have are what we call kriyas. So we have a set of exercise for the class. So each one has a focus.
Okay.
So it could be the electromagnetic field, it could be the reproductive system. So in that sense, every Kundalini class and every Nam class is different in the sense that there's always going to be a different set of exercise. It's
Okay.
like you're going to watch a TV show and hopefully it's not a rerun. It's going to be maybe the same characters, like Seinfeld. You're going to have Kramer come in kind of funny, and you're going to have, George, and you're going to have all these, characters, but it's going to be a different scenario. Maybe, Elaine lost her keys, and the next week Kramer has a date or whatever. So Nam Yoga, it's kind of like Seinfeld. Like, we have our frogs. We're going to do, beautiful meditation. We're going to, really elevate the vibration in some fun way. And we're going to do all these, like, characters. But we're going to mix it up. So it's like we're making a soup, but we're going to mix up the ingredients. And that's what I love about it, is you never get bored. It's always new, and it's always fascinating. Really quickly, just about are there different kinds of yoga? Nam Yoga is definitely a system. So you'll recognize it. It's like, oh, I recognize this is, a Picasso because Picasso has a style. You can recognize it. But within that, he has his early years, his later years, and also periods. Within Nam Yoga, there are classes for seniors. There's going to be classes for kids. There's going to be classes for the advanced dancer and athlete. There's going to be general classes. So I always teach for the students at hand.
Oh, depending where they are.
So you look at the students. So you might have planned a class, and then you get certain students, and then you're going to completely modify it. I think every teacher and every kind of yoga will do that. I think that's just logical and common sense.
All right. So, who is the originator of Nam Yoga? Who started it?
Well, Nam Yoga doesn't really have an originator because it's been around since the beginning of time.
Oh, really?
Nam Yoga is, I believe, just forever old because it's from the source. It's from the one. So when we when we do any movement, it's always been around.
Okay.
And humans then discovered it, and then we put systems to it.
Okay.
But the actual source of the sounds, of the movements, have
In
always been around. Now, the Kundalini lineage is from India, and Yogi Bhajan brought that to the West. And then my teacher, Joseph Michael Levry, studied under Yogi Bhajan. And then he had other teachings. He had many, many teachings, including Universal Kabbalah. So what Guru Nam, or Joseph Michael Levry, did is he merged them, okay? So he took systems that were already in existence, and he kind of made a sandwich. So he took some peanut butter, he took some jelly. You can tell I'm hungry, like waiting for my lunch. Okay, so he took the peanut butter of Kundalini and the yummy raspberry jam of Universal Kabbalah, and he made a little sandwich. And then when you're taking your class, you get a little bit of both.
Okay.
And each class can be a little bit more peanut butter, a little bit more jam.
Okay.